Some of you maybe don't even know what to expect. Maybe you had a longing to come and you're listening to that, which I validate. We're gonna let a few people join. Maybe you're returning. Whether or not you're watching the replay, let me know you're here. Let me know where you're from. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Sacred Pause. Hello, hello. Let me know what you're hoping to gain. Let me know what self-acceptance even means to you when you hear the word sacred pause. How does that vibrate to you? What does that signify to you? Over 30 of you are signed up, and for those who don't know me, I'm Sarah Evangeline. I have my master's in life coaching and counseling, and I'll share a little bit at the end about my program, the Soul Talk Method. But when I started this journey, I was in the dark night of my soul. Hi Alexandra, hi Shanti. I started over. I left everything behind. I came to a new city, had no job, had like I think $500 in my bank account. That was it. And so a lot of people who were at the start of their journey, starting to learn how to heal. Hi Tego, starting to learn how to, hi Mark, so glad you're here. I just want to do a side note. The amount of men that are signed up for this workshop is incredible. It takes a giant of a man to want to do this inner work. So validating you being here, and so grateful you're here. But the reason why I have this container for free workshops is because at the start of my journey, I couldn't afford a counselor. And many people are in that similar position where they want to do this work. It's not in their price range right now, but they want to learn more. So my goal and my purpose for doing free workshops once a month in this container or on Instagram is to help guide you so that you get that level of insight that you need to keep moving forward. And so if you have notebooks, that's awesome. I always encourage people, if they need to, watch these workshops twice. The first time, you're really only getting 30% of the content. The next time you kind of pick up on more things. But what are you wanting to get out of this session, out of this workshop? I want to also remind you guys that your names are in here for a giveaway I will do at the very end. I'm giving away $200 worth of, how do I want to word it? I'm giving away $200 credit towards the Soul Talk Method if it feels aligned to you. So I'm going to pull that name out of that at the end. And then I also want to say that you also are getting a meditation at the end of this workshop. I'm going to go through what I want to go through, and then I'm going to lead you guys into a meditation. And again, this is for both men and women. It's not just for women. It's deep mirror work. It's deep shadow work. If you guys have any questions during this, please, 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 feel free to post them as we go. You'll get more out of it too. But deep mirror work, and this meditation is inside the Soul Talk Method program that I have. And so this is normally a paid meditation. It helped save my life, and I love sharing it with my clients, and I'm giving it to you guys today. I was driving in my car last weekend, and I was really connecting with my own inner child, and I just felt this calling to share it with you guys today. So that's why I'm doing that. And so yes, who I am is Sarah Evangeline. I've been doing this work for a very long time. I've been an author, I've been a speaker, and in the last few years it's been me being online only because of all the restrictions, but I'm very glad to be here. I grew up with a lot of emotional trauma, a lot of suppressed emotional trauma, a lot of numbing, a lot of running away, a lot of shame, lived with an eating disorder for most of my life, and just it's been a journey where I was talking to someone earlier this morning where the healing journey doesn't ever end. There's always more layers to shed. There's always more to learn about ourselves. And many people will describe healing as, well, you're finding yourself, and I don't like that. I don't like that term. I like the term, you're rediscovering and you're reclaiming who you've always been. But when trauma and life events, painful events get in our way, it can feel like we don't know who we are, or we don't know how to accept ourselves. And we are living in a spiritual warfare right now. We're living in a psychological warfare right now. And a lot of us are feeling the weight of it. We're feeling overwhelmed. We're feeling wild. Like maybe you're walking through something really painful. Maybe you're walking through a heartache. Maybe you're having to make really, really hard decisions. And it's that decision. Am I going to work on myself? Am I going to actually give myself what I need? And so loving yourself is the frequency of healing. And I definitely grew up in a way where self-love or loving yourself was a sin. It was considered wrong. You don't do that. You give to others. And I was living with that, with so much stress, so much anxiety, so much people pleasing, that I never knew that I could ask myself what I wanted. And when I started to ask and give myself permission to ask these big questions, who I am started to appear. And I'm living a life completely different than what I grew up thinking I was allowed to live. I have a completely new belief system. I look at myself completely different, without shame, without hate. And I see the world completely different. I allow beauty to come in. I allow abundance to come in. I know how to give in a very healthy way. I know how to care for people in a much healthier way, as opposed to people pleasing and just getting through life. I want you guys to know how to love yourself through life, as opposed to just getting through life. It's very exhausting and draining. And so here we are. You are here. You are right on time. And I hope for all of you, you gain some clarity around your healing journey and step deeper into self-acceptance. So, searching for acceptance. What I want to just say here is, behind every grown man who is aggressive, who has low self-esteem, who's struggling in any way, is a man who needs to free his inner child. And behind any woman whose nervous system is a mess, who feels they're just not making it, they feel like a failure, you have an inner child that needs to be freed and healed. And the beauty of that is, your inner child is still here. Your inner child is still walking with you. And you don't just have one inner child, you have many versions of inner childs within you. And if you've struggled with self-abandonment, which I have definitely struggled with self-abandonment, you still are carrying that into adulthood. And you're making a lot of decisions, you're thinking a lot of thoughts, maybe based in the past as opposed to who you actually want to be. And I say this, be love first. Be love first. But what does that mean? We can't have a healthy, deep connection with someone else if we don't have that within ourselves. How can we give something to someone else when we don't know how to give that within ourselves? And love is such a beautiful thing. We are created for it. We desire it. All of us do. But if we have been living in a place where we don't feel safe, we feel we've had to guard ourselves, we don't have a healthy version of love, we are living in self-protection over self-acceptance. And love is a beautiful opportunity. It's your biggest opportunity. And for a lot of us, we've been wanting to love and get love and seek validation outside of ourselves. And the thing is that when you learn to become love first, you're gonna completely shift who you are. You're gonna completely shift what you attract in, and also shift your worldview. And so a lot of what we've been taught to live has been backwards, right? If I have a man who can love me, I don't have to worry about loving myself. Like, he's gonna fill the void, I'll be good. And that's a very scary place to live, and I lived in that for a very long time, and I know a lot of people are still living in that, and that stems from self-abandonment. And to talk more about self-abandonment, it's also a fear of intimacy, fear of rejection, and so again, we're living in that self-protection. We have our guards up. How many of you can look in the mirror without judgment? Do you go into a room and window dress your confidence? You change who you are depending on who you're with. Can you know that you will be safe within yourself regardless of what someone else thinks of you, regardless of what happens at work or how someone else talks to you? I remember working my first job, like I was 19. I guess that wasn't my first job, but it was pretty early on, and I was still in university, and learning has always been difficult for me. In school was very hard for me, but when it comes to psychology, when it comes to the spiritual realm of things, I just get it. But when I worked a job like Staples or retail job, the common sense stuff that, people just get, I could not get. Like learning the cashier, the register, it was so hard for me. And I had to really work at things to fit in, which is another thing, because we're not meant to fit in. And that's what I've realized now, is that, the things that maybe you're not fitting into, you never were meant to fit into it. We were meant to break these molds. We were meant to create a new world. And so my boss at the time, when I was working this job, I just was not getting it. He told me, I can't remember exactly the words, but it was bad. Like, he yelled at me and basically told me, worthless employee, whatever. And I also had many doctors and teachers tell me I just wasn't going to make it when I was younger, because I couldn't get stuff. I just couldn't grasp things that were common sense or easy. I remember I finally made the basketball team in grade 9, and my teacher said, "Oh, you made the basketball team. How did you do that?" Right? We all have memories of people not accepting us, people thinking, "You're not worth that." And then we internalize that as, well, I'm not worthwhile. I am not going to make it because that person told me. And self-acceptance, there's two things here I want you to know. Self-acceptance, it's a decision, not a feeling. And it's about the value you place on yourself, not someone else. But so often we grow up with someone else putting the value on us. Every time we step out and we want to be ourselves, we get positive or negative cues as to who we are, and that builds our identity. And how many of us are walking around with an identity that we believe we're worthless, or we're just not going to make it? Someone else is going to do better than me, so I'm going to sit on the sidelines. And we shame ourselves, and we live in self-limitation, and we don't believe it's possible. But the flip side of all of this is that what you believe is true. If you believe you're right, you're right. If you believe you're wrong, you're right. We are such a powerful being. I want you to know you are such a powerful being that this self-acceptance is only what you are the person that gets to decide if you're going to accept yourself or not. And that can be really, really hard to grasp. It can be really, really hard to understand at first. You don't just, it's not just like a overnight thing. It takes time. It can feel lonely. It can feel like you've done all the positive affirmations. Positive mindset, I'm not a huge fan of, to be honest, because what it promotes is just think positive, have the positive affirmations, and you'll be good, when that can easily become a band-aid to what's going on beneath the surface, which is why I teach the soul talk method, because your soul needs to be brought to the surface. Self-acceptance, learning to be safe within yourself, doesn't just happen because you've said the right things to yourself or you have the things, the external things. There's trauma, there's the inner child healing. There's so many elements and so many layers that need to be shed in order for you to see who you are. And this is why we're here today. Do you see you? This is for you. I want you to be able to see yourself. Many people have said to me, I've done this work so many times. Why am I still having issues? Or why is pain still coming up? Because I've walked through this before, like, why is it coming up? And the thing is that you are reweaving your inner world. That sounds weird saying it out loud. But you can call it rebirthing, you can call it reclaiming. You are redefining who you are. You're rediscovering. And I say this to many people, and that is, you get to either stay in the pain of something and stay in the patterns that are not serving you, the mindset that's not serving you. You can stay in a very anxious nervous system that's really craving to have peace and to have the authentic confidence, all of those things. Or, you can stay in that pain, or you can walk through the pain, and sometimes the healing feels worse than the wound that's over here that you're kind of just like bypassing and numbing and, but walking through the pain into something else, that's where the transformation lies. That's where your new self lies. That's where the part of you that's always been there gets to be shown, gets to be revealed. You get to see who you are and learn that you have you. That no matter what chaos is happening around you, we don't get to control what happens outside of us, but we do get to control our inner world. And that's what matters, because our external reflects our internal world. So are you going to choose the pain, or are you going to choose the discomfort of healing? Both are uncomfortable. Both are uncomfortable. It's just, which one do you want to be living in? It can feel sometimes when you're on this journey that you have to decide things. I remember being in another program, and it just wasn't for me. I felt like it was another mold I was trying to fit into that I didn't belong in. And I felt like my soul was screaming. Like, I couldn't stay there. I needed to leave. But in order to do that, I needed to ask for help. I needed to tell people, hey, I've been living this lie my entire life, that I'm supposed to be someone I'm not. I don't know where I'm supposed to go from here. I have no clue. But I know that right here, right now, it's not serving me. And I was terrified. I was terrified to get up from my seat. I was terrified to tell someone I wasn't okay. I was terrified of the unknown. But in that decision to get up from my chair and to say no, and to say yes to a different way of life, even though I didn't know what it was, that's my soul power. And that's what you have. We don't get to decide certain things, like, the last few years and all the things that we've probably gone through individually has been huge. Living alone for the time I was living alone and being isolated was extremely hard. Not being able to see my family for 6 months, extremely hard. We all have things we've gone through. I didn't get to control any of that, but I got to control how I took care of myself, what I chose to create every day, what I chose to say yes to and no to. And so some of you, maybe you're in a place where you need to say no to a job. You need to say no to dating someone. You need to say no to where you're living and yes to what you actually want. And that's the thing is, I went to someone and I said to her, I'm not okay. I don't think I should be here. Actually, I'm going to take that back because we're going to talk about that in a second, because shoulding is not your highest timeline. If you're ever saying to yourself, I should have known better, I should have made a better decision back then, that's actually rooted in shame, and that is not your highest timeline. When I went to this person, she was a life coach. She was a safe person. I built a relationship with her. And I finally let someone see me broken down. I didn't have to hide. I didn't have to put a filter on. And I just said to her, this is not where I want to be. But I have no idea what's next. And I'm terrified. And you know, this is the thing too. When we bring a belief system from our trauma into who we are, we assume things. And I assumed of her that she was going to judge me, that she was going to condemn me, that she was going to tell me no, I had to stay, all the things that made me feel unworthy. And instead, she just smiled at me and she said, Sarah, what do you want? What do you want? That decision freed me. It was one major or baby step in a grand scheme of steps I'm still taking. And I had no idea what was next. I had no idea what was behind that door of telling someone, I need to leave this program, I need to move, I need to start over, basically. And she said to me, what do you want? And I had never, ever given myself permission to ask myself that. I was constantly doing what everyone else told me I should be doing. Oh, you'll make a really good pastor. Oh, you'll be really good at this. You'll be really good at teaching. You should do that. That's a safe job. Like, I was letting people dictate my worth. I was letting people make my decisions. And I moved to the city I'm in now. All I had was an apartment I had never seen. I had no job. And it was like a completely new world. Every day was fun and exciting and lots of challenges. I also got engaged, and that was a big no-no and lots of heartache. That's the thing, is it's not all rosy. It's not all going to be perfect. There's valleys and hills in this journey. But I keep having to go through these things where I have to choose myself. Self-acceptance is about choosing yourself. It's not about when you get there. It's not about when you have the things, or when you've hit your weight goal, or you have the spouse, or you have the house that society tells you you have to have in order to be successful. Self-acceptance is, I'm going to accept myself for where I am today. I'm going to accept myself, the version of me that had no idea what I wanted out of life, but I was giving her permission. I'm going to accept the woman who is still working through her shadow, right? Like, can you accept where you're at today? But here's the thing, the next step, the next decision is yours. Are you going to keep repeating past patterns? Or are you going to be willing to unlearn and relearn? To let go of self-abandonment? To relearn your identity? To relearn the value you want to place on yourself? We have our fated path, and we have our destiny path. And I want to, hi Navia, hi Chris, I want to share what that means. The fated path, I'm a really big I'm really into illustration and visual in my teaching and story. But you're on this fated path, okay? And you can think of it as a highway. You're on this highway and it's a fated path. It's what you've been told you have to be, what you have to do, and you're following it and it's going really well. But then the exit sign happens. It comes and you're going, oh, I'm really comfortable here. But your soul, your body, your mind is longing to be over there. There's something about that. It's a new decision. And part of you doesn't want to go, but you feel like you need to go. You think, no, I need to be over there for some reason. It doesn't make sense. It's unknown. It's scary. It's terrifying, but I need to go over there. So you go to this path and it's your destiny path. And you start doing things that don't make sense. Maybe you start to release control of wanting to have all the answers. This is your destiny path. Your destiny path believes in possibility. Your destiny path is not limited to your beliefs or your thoughts, the negativity or your past. Your destiny path is going, no, there's a soul mission that I am here for that no one else can do but me. And it starts with self-acceptance. It starts with that sacred pause of going, this is me. I'm okay to be me. I have something to bring to this world that no one else can. And with your destiny path, what happens is that there's more exits. There's more up-leveling. There's more challenges. There's more hard decisions that you feel you have to make that maybe don't make sense to anyone else but you. I sold my car on Monday, and I don't have a new one yet. It doesn't make sense. I tell people that I did that, and they go, but you don't have a new one yet? And I go, no, I'm looking, but I'm not rushing it. And since September, I've just had a deep knowing of, I have to purge. I have to detach. I'm selling things that have been in my storage for 4 years. I clearly don't need them. But we get safety out of stuff. We have safety out of having that vehicle. And it doesn't make sense. But it makes sense to me. And you're going to have big decisions. You're going to have little decisions. And you're on this destiny path. And things are going to come to you. And you get to decide, am I going to repeat a past pattern? Or am I going to intentionally, consciously choose something new? You being here today, going, I have no idea what this training is, but I felt a longing to do it, so I'm here. That's also a decision. What you're going to do afterwards, I'm a big intention setting person, meaning what I love to tell people at the end of the workshop is, okay, I don't want you to leave where you're at today. The chair you're in, the car you're driving in, I don't want you to leave this spot the same as when you entered. What is a takeaway? What is one thing that you want to implement, or a takeaway that you want to intentionally change for your life after this experience? It can be the tiniest thing of, I'm going to go for that walk in nature instead of watching Netflix tonight. Or it can be, wow, I really need inner child healing work because I have just been getting by and I'm so stressed and I can't do this alone. Wherever you're at, you are right on time. And so every time you choose that new destination or new exit in your destiny path, you're shedding a new layer of who you are. And so guess what? Self-acceptance is also a daily commitment. Healing is a daily commitment. It's not, okay, I showed up to Sarah's workshop, I did the meditation, I'm good now. No. I have to consciously choose myself every day, because then I'm able to give more to others. I'm able to see clearer. I'm able to make better decisions. And it's not out of selfish gain. When I say you can ask the question, what do I want? It's not out of selfish gain. It's out of this deep soul inner knowing of what am I here for? And let me tell you, you've already been living in it. It's just now heightening that self-awareness, heightening that consciousness. What's the next step you want to take? It's really important to listen to your inner child through this process. Your inner child is here. Your inner child wants to talk to you. It's part of your soul as well. Your inner child is part of your soul. So many of us grow up lying to people about who we are because we want to be accepted. We want to fit in. You can lie to people, but you can't lie to yourself. Your body feels it and your soul knows it. And that's why some of you, your soul has been screaming at you and you haven't been paying attention. You haven't been wanting to listen because it's more comfortable to stay in that pain. At least it's predictable, right? At least sometimes it's predictable. The healing, that's unknown. That's scary. Sometimes when I say to people, you get to, like, what do you want out of life? It's not, it's not always like I had to change careers, I had to change cities, I had to start over. Sometimes it's just, I have the really good job, I have the really good family, I'm very grateful, but I want to change the way I show up to it because I haven't been accepting myself. Sometimes it takes massive leaps of change, and other times it's just, I have been missing the opportunity to love what is right in front of me because I'm not loving myself. But when I ask people, what do you want? And I say you can start to give yourself that permission. A lot of times they say, I don't know how to ask that because it's scary and terrifying, or I've never given myself permission to ask that before. What does that mean to you when I ask you that? When you enter this destiny path, you start to enter a deeper surrender. It doesn't have to make sense. You don't have to explain yourself to everyone. We're going from needing facts and needing evidence and needing statistics to just living in a world where we have that deeper inner knowing. Why? Because we've learned to love and trust ourselves. We don't need to prove it to someone else. We just know it and we're going to walk in it. And a lot of people, and myself including, it's like we're feeling tested right now. With all the energies in the world, it's like we're being tested. And it's not like, well, I want to just say the word test can be triggering. And I acknowledge that. It's triggering for me too. I don't like the word test because I grew up in a very religious background where, well, if you don't do this, you're going to go to hell. So you're going to get tested. So I don't really like that term. So we can change it here to be even just, there's more layers of you being shed so that the version of you can emerge. And the bigness in that is, are you just going to talk about it or are you going to actually walk in it? Right? Am I going to just talk about it or am I going to actually embody it and live in it? A lot of us are feeling that pressure right now. A lot of us, again, are maybe doing things that don't make sense to us. And so give yourself permission to unlearn and relearn. Give yourself permission to accept yourself. Okay, we talked about self-abandonment. We've talked about, that. So, what I want to say to you is what's waiting for you is better than what's already behind you. What's waiting for you is already better than what's behind you. And what a lot of us do though, if we're living, I'm just going to take that self-abandonment as one example of a symptom of trauma or a symptom of pain. And not all the time we get trauma in our childhood. Sometimes it's trauma with a partner in our 20s, 30s. So wherever you're at, you're here. I'm losing my train of thought. this happens once in a while because I get downloads while I'm talking and my spirit guides are like, say this, and then I lose track of what I was originally gonna say, but it'll come back to me if it's meant to be said. Aha, yeah. So a lot of us will bring our past patterns into our current reality. What happened to me when I was a child was years ago. Long time ago. But the pain of it, the emotional trauma doesn't necessarily come back as a memory, it comes back as an emotion. So we could be still bringing those emotions into our current day, meaning I've got a new job, living on my own, super, super exciting, and then the same thought of my mom when she said to me, you're not worthy, I'm bringing that into my new job. It's new people, new experience, new city, everything seems new, but because so many people told me I wasn't going to make it when I was young, I still believe that as I enter this new job. And the thing is that it's going to impact how I see myself, how I assume others are seeing myself, how I show up, what I believe about myself. It's going to impact everything. And so when I ask you, what are you bringing from the past into the present that's no longer serving you? What would happen if you took off the mask of the many insecurities and let your authenticity be seen? Could you do that? Could you look at yourself in the mirror and see you? We're going to enter into the meditation stage very, very soon. If you would like to go to a place where you have a mirror, if you would like to put me, I think you can take this, if you're just on your phone, you can take this and kind of scroll, not completely exit it, but I think there's a way to put it in the corner and then turn on your camera so you can see yourself. If you want to just lay down or close your eyes for this meditation, and this is going to be on replay, meaning you can listen to it for now and then apply it later on this week in front of your mirror. But mirror work and shadow work are not easy. You are coming to terms with parts of yourself that are very hard to accept. And it can be uncomfortable. You have to be comfortable with it being uncomfortable. You have to be willing to do it even though it's uncomfortable. That's what intentions are. We're setting the intention or the activation for something even though it's going to be tough. We don't really want to do it, right? So get comfortable. I want you to pick your spot. If you want to close your eyes, if you want to lay down, make sure there's limited noise around you. If you need to shut your door, if you need to turn off, if you're watching TV while you're doing this, if you want to go to your bathroom or a safe place and close the door, whatever feels comfortable for you. Hi Susan, so glad you're here. Susan, we're just about to enter into the meditation stage. So come as you are. That's what I want you guys to know too, is that with me, with these sessions, you get to come as you are. For some, this could be this place where you know you can come as you are, but when you leave this chair or wherever you are, you have to go back to a reality where maybe that's not true. So focus your attention on you, because this is sacred. This is so grounding. This is anchoring. This is setting an intention for something new once you leave this place. All right, you should be in your comfortable position. And I'm going to start the sacred pause meditation now. Acceptance isn't a passive resignation. It is a daily decision we have power to make every single day. I can breathe in, I am, and breathe out, here, knowing I am right on time and I have a place to belong. Your worth is not based on your to-do lists or the set of goals you have for your life. You are a human being, not a human doing. And denying your self-acceptance is like purposely holding your breath when it needs oxygen. You are deserving of this. Your soul needs to breathe. Wherever you are, gently close your eyes. Place your hand on your stomach and your other hand on your heart, or any part of your body that has self-judgment. Focus your attention to your breath. I am here. Breathing in, I am. Breathing out, here. I am here. Breathing in, I am here. We need to give our body time to connect with our heart, because in our heart we see clearer. Breathe deep, continuing to breathe deep. Focus your attention to who you are today. Can you accept yourself for who you are today? You have lived through a lot. You have suffered heartache, been through immense pain, and have walked through something that may have seemed impossible. You are still here. You are still on time. We can spend time wishing we were somewhere else we're not, than just right here. It is easy to reflect on a time in our past when we were healthier or loving life more. Or we can focus too much on where we hope to be in the future, thinking if I get there, life will be more worth living. Still, I want you to take a moment to just pause. Feel your feet. Either feel them on the floor or twiddle your toes. Let your legs relax, soften your belly. Feel the beat of your heart all the way up to the crown of your head. Still breathing deep. Soften your face, relax your jaw. Let your shoulders relax. So much of us carry stress within our shoulders. Relax them. Bring your consciousness to your body. Become still, continuing to breathe. I am here. Sense your attention deepening from your head, where all the noise is, the to-do list, the what-ifs, the worry, the stress, and let yourself feel your body and your heart. This is where your inner child lives. Continuing to breathe. There is no rush in this sacred place. Observe, accept, release. Observe yourself, accept what is, release what is no longer serving you. I am here. I am here. If you feel led to, you can stop this video, especially when it's on replay, and change it to, I am seen, I am heard, I am loved, I am strong, I am deserving of this life. As you're breathing, when you notice a negative feeling or attitude towards yourself, pause. Realizing that this is just a thought and you have the power to decide if it needs to stay or go. Notice any emotions that come up. How do they need to be honored? How do they need to be released? Let go of any self-judgment. You're stepping into self-acceptance today. Stay here for as long as you need. Think beneath the surface level of your skin. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Still focusing on that deep breath. Look at yourself in the mirror, look at yourself in your camera, or if you're laying down, just allow. Is there anything your inner child wants to tell you? Is there anything that you need to tell him or her? The reflection that you're seeing within yourself. What do you need to say in this space? What does she need to know? What does he need to embody? What do you wish for that person you're seeing in your reflection? What do you wish for them to know? Just be here, all here. I want to give some space for you guys. This is not a rushed experience. I encourage all of you to take some space, to not rush back into your life after this. Get your journal book out. Or if you're not into journaling, what you can do is voice record yourself. Talk out this experience. Talk about what emotions came up for you. If nothing came up for you, I want you to know that that is normal and that's okay too. Some of you, maybe this is the first time you've done anything like this and it's strange and there was resistance and you didn't really want to be here and you did it, and bravo. I'm so honored to guide you through this. This mirror work can be done daily. It can be done a few times a week. Sometimes what we need is, this is part of the relearning. We're relearning to slow down. We're relearning to pause. We're relearning to allow ourselves to just be. And resistance comes up because your ego or your self-protection's like, get back to life. We need to be busy. You need to keep going, go, 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 and then when you get it, you can rest. Huge activation happened today for you because you did this work. Drink lots of water. Set an intention. If you want to share with me privately how this experience was for you, please do so. Self-compassion is huge. How are you going to talk to yourself after this experience? All right. Thank you for being here for you. This was for you. It wasn't for anyone else but you. We're going to step into the last piece of this workshop where I'm going to share about the Soul Talk method. So I always do this at the end because my intention was to give you a free workshop. If any of you are longing for more, longing or just curious about what the Soul Talk method is, I'm going to enter into what that includes. You're so welcome, Alexandra. I'm so glad you're here. What I'm going to do first is draw the name of my winner. I think what I'm going to do, the Soul Talk method is going to start again either mid or end January, depending. And I'm going to do at least another workshop, if not two, where I'm going to be giving away $200 every time. So if that interests you, you know, feel free to come back. I have all the names in there. What I normally do is say you need to be actually watching it live in order to win. I didn't do that this time. So someone might be winning that wasn't actually here today. They will be watching the replay because you guys are all over the world, which I just love. Okay. I'm going to announce the winner and I'm so excited. Okay, actually, Tiago. Can you guys see that? My handwriting is atrocious. I didn't have time to print it out. Tiago Martins, you are the winner of $200 credit towards the Soul Talk method. I will send you an email either today or tomorrow with what that means. But basically you get to use that $200 towards the Soul Talk method if you desire to for the January round. Okay, so congratulations. So excited for you. Anyone else that's here today, if you want to learn more, I'm going to share a little bit about it now. We can always have a free assessment call with me where you can share with me about your story. And I want to help you make an empowered decision into this, as opposed to ever coming from a forcing energy. I want you to desire it, and I want to help you step into this next step of healing if it's aligned with you. So with the Soul Talk method, it is all about healing your inner child and stepping deeper into your spiritual awakening journey. It comes with 8 weeks of curriculum, full of tools, full of meditations. It basically is the step-by-step guide to heal your inner child and awaken your soul. And it's a journey you get to live out. It always amazes me how the people inside, they're following the same curriculum, but they're living their life. It's their journey. And within that, you get lifetime access, which is beautiful. It's one price, but you get lifetime access because healing is not linear. It's not over in 8 weeks. Sometimes it can take people 6 months, 4 months, but then if they need me, they still have access to me a year later. So that's really good. So 8 weeks curriculum, lifetime access. You get inside a private community group where you get to share your wins, share your questions. When you share a question, I respond, so you get additional coaching. You get a bonus once a month coaching session with me. It's a group coaching session where you get to bring more questions. It's more of an interaction live, so you get more flow of progress, and then you get a bonus free one-to-one session with me, which most people use at the end of the 8 weeks so that, you know, they've learned the curriculum, they're learning to apply it, and they get to bring one-on-one, like a one-on-one coaching session with me. They get to bring any additional questions that they need guidance in. And lots of workbooks in that, lots of additional resources to further your growth. So if the Soul Talk method, if that's calling to you, if you're interested, if you're just curious, let me know. Send me a message, send me an email. We can book a call very soon. And that price, every time before pre-launch, it's $888. So that will be on pre-launch until December 15th. So another month or so. You can get it for $888. There are payment plans. If the money is the only thing holding you back, I tell people it's not a good excuse. We will work out a plan for you to be able to afford it. And then after the pre-launch, so after December 15th, it goes up to $1,200. But within that, you get the lifetime access, a bonus free one-on-one session with me, and all of the tools. So let me know if that resonates with you. If you want to work with me one-on-one, there is also VIP coaching, and that's also $888 for 2 months or $1,200 for 4 months. So you can check out my website as well at sarahEvangeline.org. You can see testimonials, you can see more of how the packages work, how you can sign up with me. But most importantly, I would love to know from you guys how this experience was for you, what your takeaway was from it, how you want to move forward. What is your intention after you leave this space? So sending you all love. Let me know if you have any questions after this. My door is open for you, and continue to take the sacred pause with you. You can do that breath work, the I am here, or I am seen, or I am loved. You can do that in your car. Just don't close your eyes. You can do that when you're with family members and you are, having a really bad day. Like, bring it to your work. It helps regulate your nervous system. It helps you just take that moment for yourself. Okay? I will talk to you soon. Reach out to me if you need to, and another workshop will be on its way soon. All right? Bye, guys.